space the final frontier? Or it's just a restaurant? Good evening, David Hartman, Dave's Disney, owner of Fantastic Endeavors Travel Agency, here with you to share a review of Space 220 restaurant. Yes, we've been hearing about it for 4 years. The epic new dining experience in Epcot right by Mission Space, a new table service restaurant, a new signature dining experience. I'm going to share my recent visit last weekend with you today. Going to talk about all about the restaurant, exclusive interviews with the general manager coming up, some drink previews, and most importantly, at the end, I'll share you my tips to get both table service and standby reservation, because that's what I do for you guys. As always, wherever you're watching this, like this and share it. It really does help me out. And subscribe to my Fantastic Endeavors YouTube channel and like my Dave's Disney Facebook page. If you're a big fan of Disney for the first time, our show is all about teaching you guys how to navigate Disney and on all things Disney. And please hit the group button on the Dave's Disney page and join our Dave's Disney community, where I do exclusive footage and tips just for you guys. So what is Space 220? And by the way, please leave a comment. Are you excited about the restaurant? And if you have any questions about it, or if you've gone to it like Giselle Saccone has, my diehard fan out there, please tell us about your experience live on the show today. So what is Space 220? And again, stay tuned for how to obtain a standby seat. And I got some tips, some intel footage from the GM himself, how to obtain a reservation. Will be a lot easier coming up soon. So you have to wait to find out in the show to hear why. So what is Space 220? It's a new table service restaurant right by Mission Space. So as you enter Epcot by Spaceship Earth at the main entrance, not World Showcase International Gateway, at the main entrance, you are going to veer off to the left under Spaceship Earth, going to wheel around the construction walls by Guest Relations by Guardians of the Galaxy. In your first left, boom, right to Mission Space, right in the entrance of Mission Space. On your right will be Space 220 entrance. They actually built a building behind it and made an entrance right near Mission Space entrance. You don't have to ride the ride to go in the restaurant, thankfully, because that ride's a bit challenging for people. I love it. That's what the restaurant is. It's a table service signature experience. I'm going to share with you guys videos, and I got a whole photo gallery I'm going to talk you through to show you how to rope drop and get a standby queue. It's one of my things. I want a standby reservation for the bar. I'll talk about the differences in the food and things like that, so stay tuned for more. So next up, I do want to show you what it's like to enter Space 220. So this is a spoiler alert. I'm going to show you the space elevator, or Spellevator, as the GM calls it, or Space Invaders, if you want to call it. This is part of the experience, and it's pretty amazing. It really gets you in the mood for this restaurant, because you're dining 220 miles above Epcot, above Earth, and that's what it feels like. That was the intent. And if you haven't heard about it, you want to listen closely, because this is unlike I've ever seen before. I've been to Windows in the World, World Trade Center, which is no longer with us. When I was a kid, that was pretty special. Been some amazing kind of themed experiences, but this is unlike anything I've ever seen, even at Walt Disney World. And they got some pretty impressive dining experiences at Disney World. So this is one of those. And we'll talk about price points and everything else. Coming up, a quick video I took, and this is my first visit. This is the space elevator up to Centuri Space Station, where the restaurant's located. And then I walk off in the restaurant for the first time. Check it out right now.
And everybody say bye, Epcot.
Woo-hoo, bye, Epcot.
Pre-Fixe elevator, the latest in space elevator design and technology. Today, you'll have a spectacular
We're off to Space 220.
Eastern Seaboard. Enjoy the ride. I'll be back in a bit with arrival information. If you look above, you'll see Centuri Space Station coming into view.
There's my
Once we dock, gather your belongings and exit through the open air lock. A Space 220 agent will be waiting for you.
Wow.
SB1 clear.
Yes, looking up.
Gravity
Oh
generator.
man, next time.
Analog activated.
That's one fast elevator.
Docking complete.
We are now ready to enter Space 220.
And you guys made it. Everyone doing good? Yes.
That was one fast ride.
Oh, yeah. Faster on the way down. Not right this way. Not
On the way down, we'll look up because we looked up and we missed the docking. Good size elevator. Space 220 elevator. Thank you. I'm getting dizzy watching that.
Do you guys have the boarding pass I can take from you guys?
Sure.
And you guys are sitting at the bar, right? Yes. All right.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll go ahead and take you to your seat.
Hello. It'll be so much fun. Oh my God, it'd be awesome. I love being outside.
Here we are. Wow, it's big. Oh, nice. We got bar seats today. Hey, 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 hey. Ooh, love the colors in here. Quick overview of Space 320.
You mean you even have QR codes in space?
Yes, ma'am. Technology doesn't wait for no one.
Yes. Yeah. Means I have to bring out my American.
That's the whole restaurant. And we got some spacemen out there already. People getting pictures. Man, the key is getting a booth seat. Look at those. We're at the bar seat today. Stand by. We were first in line due to early entry hours in the park by about a little after 10 o'clock. After 10 after 10. We were first in line here on Thursday, September 30th. And back to the bar and then off to get drinks and eat. Woohoo! Pretty cool restaurant. Isn't that awesome? I mean, just the look, the feel. You are in space. I mean, you are really in space. And so kudos to Disney. I mean, just the first impressions is worth the trip alone. And again, is it challenging to get into right now? Yes. So stay tuned at the end. As I said, I'll give you the tips how to get a seat at this wonderful restaurant and to also maybe a bar seat too on short notice. That is possible. So yes, it's a restaurant. All restaurants have great food. And I will tell you, second to none here at Space 220. I know a lot of critics online just assume it's going to be bad food because all of Disney's signature dining experiences have bad food. And I disagree with that analogy, absolutely, because I've done them all and they're all fantastic. And this is up there. It's run by Pantina Group. Pantina Group is a huge restaurant group that has restaurants all over Grand Central Station, New York, all over New Jersey and the East Coast. They also run the whole Edison complex and Enzo's Hideaway in Disney Springs. They run Mortimer Asia, one of the favorite restaurants in Disney Springs, and they run the entire Italy pavilion at Epcot. So Pantina Group knows what they're doing. And stay tuned. Exclusive interview right here with Seth Rose, the GM. Got some tips from him to share with you too. And Seth is the bomb, and he came from New York, and Pantina Group took the right person for this job. So let's talk about the menu. There's a bar menu and there's a table service menu. Much different. I will tell you right now, the table service menu is online, well-versed. Lunch and dinner, there's a difference. Pre-Fixe menu, it's $55 a person for lunch and $87 a person for dinner. And that's including appetizer, entree, and dessert. And I think some soft drinks, but no, all drinks are extra, including alcoholic drinks. Wah, 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 wah. Sorry, drinks are extra. And, you know, that's fine. Obviously, you're paying for the experience, but the food is really good. They have some great choices and some great upgrades. I will share the bar menu, so stay tuned right now, the next few seconds, because the bar menu I had to take a picture of and crop it. That is not available online by Disney. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're hiding the bar menu. That is a la carte. So you don't have to do Pre-Fixe. When you sit at a table service, you have to get the Pre-Fixe menu and pay these prices. Obviously, lunch will be more in demand if you're in the park because it's cheaper. And then dinner is a much nicer menu. They have upgrades for lobster tail. They have upgrades for a filet mignon for a certain amount. And to me, it's reasonable considering the experience you're getting. Now, let's talk about the bar menu. because that is not published anywhere by Disney, and I have it here exclusively for you today. So give me a second as I share my screen over. And this is the key difference. It's bar standby only. You cannot come to the restaurant and have a reservation and sit at the bar. You have to sit table service. You have to Pre-Fixe menu. The bar, now maybe you can talk your way around that. Good luck. The bar is for standby only, day of reservation, no virtual queue, by the way. And we'll talk about the end, how to get tips to get on that. Right away, there's some great bites up top. We had a couple of these. I shared today on Instagram. I got some previews coming up of videos for you guys. And we got the deviled eggs were incredible. We had the chicken on waffle, which was awesome. Lobster roll is pretty pricey, didn't have that. But we saw them all go out to different people at the bar. They all look amazing, and everyone had good things to say. As we scroll down the bar menu, the spirits, woohoo! Got a couple to show you coming up. Very cool spirits. Nice selections of wine. Guys next to us bought a bottle of wine, said it was delicious. And some good crab brews. They imported all from the U.S. up the space elevator. And some traditional bottles of beer. Executive chef is Mark Cushy. And Mark, you're doing a great job. So I think part of the delay in opening this thing was finding an executive chef, but Pantina Group did a great job with their GM and their chef. Some sparkling wines. So this is key. Again, standby, 10 seats only, as you saw in the video. And I'm going to stop sharing this now. 10 seats only, standby only, day of. And they don't really rush you out of there. So when you're actually getting in line for the bar and it goes all the way down Mission Space concrete wall, I'll show you this in some pictures. I'll talk through my pictures. That's about a 2-hour line because they're not rushing people out of there. They are just going along and letting people have a good time and enjoy the experience. So even though the line's only 50 yards long, it's probably a 2-hour wait on the outside. And I'll give you an idea because it's just 10 seats. And it's not like Oga's where they rush people out. So, all right, let's talk more about the cocktails. All right, let me get the more videos queued up for you. So this is the Atmospritz. Very nice cocktail. Check out how they make it. Let me get rid of this banner. One more second. The Space 220. This drink, Matthew, is called?
Atmospritz.
Ah.
That was beautiful.
That was crazy. Yeah, little short tidbit for you guys. And next up, we got the Planetary Punch and Atmospritz together. These drinks are Oga's Cantina prices. In other words, bring your wallet. Really nice, fine cocktails, but worth it for the experience. You saw the menu is $17, $18. And I'll post that menu afterwards and some other things I'm going to cover in the show, in the chat, wherever you're watching this feed. Next up, I want to cover two more cocktails. Atmospritz is on there, and a quick little Insta-reel video for you of the Atmospritz and the Planetary Punch. Very fine cocktail. Phase 220 at the bar getting cocktails. It's the Planetary Punch spritzing away, and the Atmospritz it back. Here we come. We are bar seating because we were first in line for standby. And you seated by about 11:45. Fantastic. Two more cocktails, I tell you, absolute wonderful. So obviously we did the bar menu, didn't want to spend the big meal, big money, which you could. When you're at the standby bar menu, you can order the Pre-Fixe. That's on the bar menu on the other side. That is allowed. Or you're allowed to spend less money and have a more like Oga's Cantina experience, get a couple expensive drinks and get a bite. The most affordable thing on the menu was my favorite thing, and that was the deviled eggs with the candied bacon, the same candied bacon they have in the Edison if you haven't had that. It's awesome. I mean, like, yum. Wow. You take the candied bacon, you put it on the deviled egg, and then you eat it together. I'm even giving you eating tips here. Come on. Hey, guys, give me a comment out there. Let me know what you think of the show so far. Let me know if you want to go the experience, and let me know you're going to stick around for the tips. I got tips how to easily get a standby reservation. It'll be easy to get a sit-down reservation because all the reservations went in one day for 60 days, a few hours, actually. I was online at 6 a.m. when it first opened up, and they all were gone for 60 days. So we went and did standby, and we figured out the system for you. Going to share it to you next. Finally, hey, comments. Woo. All right, good question. As we move on to the interview with the GM Seth. Exclusive just for you guys. We got Leslie Wiseman. Did it make you sleepy? The dark windows and music make it so peaceful, but I'm worried about getting tired. Honestly, I was so excited to be there. I was so jazzed, and kudos again to the Imagineering team and Pantina Group, the GM Seth that runs it, and Mark, the chef. It was just an awesome experience. I mean, it's like, wow. It was like Planetary. Wow. And yeah, but it does put you in, and a lot of people heard about these long dining experiences. I think if you sit down, be prepared for a 2-hour meal. And I think that's going to be a lot for people, but you get enrolled in the environment. And I could see you getting a little sleepy maybe after a big meal, but just maybe watch your portions. Great comment. Thank you, Leslie. Next up, I want to do an exclusive interview with the general manager, Seth. He came from, he says it in the video, but he came from their New York area. Pantina Group does run restaurants in Grand Central Station and New York, New Jersey area. They are a monster restaurant group, including all the restaurants I mentioned at Disney Springs and Epcot and so on in Walt Disney World. And Seth was gracious enough to give me a minute of his time to tell us about his role and what to expect when you arrive at Space 220 restaurant, 220 miles above Epcot. Here's Seth, the GM. David Hartman here with Seth. Seth, we're at Space 220, 220 miles above Epcot. My first time here, and Seth's going to tell you about himself and what his role is and why you should come to Space 220. So Seth, how are you today?
I'm excellent, Dave. Thank you so much for having me. My name's Seth Rose. I'm the general manager here at Space 220 Restaurant, 220 miles above Earth, above Epcot at the Centuri space station.
Centuri Space Station, very good. 220 miles, that's a long way from Earth, but I got to tell you, the space elevator ride was pretty quick.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we want to get you up here as quickly as we possibly can. We use elevator technology, so we're tethered to Epcot. You take our elevator up, and you get a great, amazing view of Earth from our restaurant.
Elevator, I love it. So tell us about the experience here. We've got some space views in the back, but what do people expect when they come here? Why should they come here?
I think this is, in the theme of Epcot, which is space, which is science and technology. This is a fully immersive dining experience. We take the guests 220 miles above Earth. We think this is what space tourism will look like in the future, where you'll be able to come up, you'll be able to join some excellent contemporary cuisine with great views of space and some of the things that are going on in space.
Excellent. And before working in space, where were you working, Seth?
I worked for Delaware North Patina Restaurant Group in Grand Central Station in New York. I moved down to take part in this project about 2 years ago, and I'm just super excited to be here.
Now, as we pan around, Seth, check out the view. And Seth, thank you very much. And we know you're busy, and the place is looking amazing. Looking forward to our snacks and drinks. I appreciate being on today.
Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Oh, you're welcome. Now, that is one polished fellow. Very professional. I'm very impressed with Pantina Group, bringing the right person down, waiting to find the right chef for this restaurant, because the food's important. Just to charge that kind of prices. And, Pantina has a lot to do with that, not just Disney. I'm sure Disney gets a cut and they're leasing from Disney. But Pantina Group probably sets that rate based on everything involved there. And someone's got to pay that guy a good salary because he's fantastic. He reminds me of Sharp. It's a person I met who runs Topolino's Terrace, who came from Bull and Bear in the Waldorf, which was one of the top restaurants in Orlando. That guy was like up there too. Seth, thank you very much. Appreciate it. He shared some exclusive information with me that's very important about getting a future reservation at this restaurant. You want to stay tuned at the end. You got to stay at the end because this is exclusive. No one else knows about this, but he shared it with me, not on the interview, but I'll share it at the end. All right. A few more things to go before we share our tips, and then we go through our photo gallery and actually tell you exactly how we got there, what we did, and what an amazing time we had. So I'll wait till the photo gallery at the end. Let me go through here and see. So what are the differences? What's between a dining reservation versus standby? Standby is bar seating only. If you have a dining reservation, you have to sit down at a table, have to order a Pre-Fixe menu. Bar menu is a la carte or Pre-Fixe menu, very important. And then a reservation, you just check in. They have a separate check-in line. And then when I go through these pictures, when you arrive, if you have a reservation, do not wait in that standby line. Walk around it and go in. So I'll cover that as I go through it. The pictures do not have music. I'm going to narrate through them. This is our trip from arriving. We left here at Key Largo at 5 a.m., got to TTC, which is a long story why I went there. We weren't sure if the parking lot to Epcot was open. We actually went to our hotel, took an Uber to TTC, took the monorail back, second monorail of the morning. And I'll talk about the opening sequence as I go through this. But with your early entry, they are opening up everything a half hour earlier than they were before, including the parking lot. But you want to be at that front entrance, not the back entrance. You want to run to Space 220, but only a certain time of day, because the park opens at 9 a.m., the restaurant's open at 11:30. So let me go through the pictures, and I'll cover my tips at the end. This is our pictures of Space 220 from start to finish. Our first day there, it had already opened on the 20th. Rent the resume the 27th. And there's us. Here's us at rope drop. No one's there. We entered the park about 10:15 and got let probably in 5 minutes later. And then look at all the people behind us. So we rope dropped. Again, the section by the new Guardian of the Galaxy coaster. Here's the sign. Very clear where it's located. Right? It's in Mission Space Entrance. Can't miss the right. See that big line? Do not wait in this line if you have a dining reservation. You walk around it to the middle. And they have a separate line to queue you for dining. There may be a 15-minute wait for dining. Unlike, that's a 2-hour wait right there, according to the guy I was talking to. It depends how people move out of the bar. But if that's halfway down, you're looking at hour wait, and there's the queue you go into. That's all brand new, built recently, even though Space 220 was already, Mission Space was already there. We were first in line. Woohoo! Some great photos of the location where we're at. Here's our check-in man, Frank. He was incredible. And here's your experience. And I showed you the space elevator. And by the way, look both ways in the space elevator. They're going up and going down. Make sure you get a good view of both. If you record one way, then look the other way going down. The producer Bonnie and us checking in. Again, they don't call you in here until you're in line and go, or if you have a reservation. From here on, the experience, there's our drinks, Planetary Punch in front and Atmospritz in back. And here's me enjoying the one of many 10 bar seats. The big gap next to me is because a girl next to us was in a scooter and they bid her at a table. I think they allowed that to happen. And there's Seth. Check out the new badges for our cast members. They are just incredible. Look, 50th anniversary. Woohoo! Happy birthday. There's our food. The waffle, chicken waffle. And then these amazing candied bacon deviled eggs. Yum. Oh my God, so good. Both were fantastic. I didn't think I'd like the waffle. I'm not a waffle pancake person, but it's very light. And everyone around us had different appetizers. They all loved them. So excellent. And here's it, Space 220, exclusive footage for you. I did post some pictures of my Dave's Disney Instagram today. Also shared it over to Facebook, Dave's Disney. So like that page and follow that Instagram. And I'll be posting more about my experiences from my trip this past weekend. There's a nice panoramic of the Space 220 restaurant. And here's a steaming hot meal for the table service side. They're having a very good time having their steaming meal. And the view from the portal changes when it's at night. The continent is dark, which is different. And it keeps changing. Supposedly there's a dog walk that comes by. I just missed it. There's a dog being walked in a spacesuit because you're on a space station where people live. You're in the bottom half of Centuri space station, 220 miles above Earth. So the view is amazing, and it does change quite a bit. The station doesn't move or rotate around the Earth, but what happens in the background? There's the space garden growing their vegetables and lettuce and things. And there's your queue. That's a 2-hour wait right there, according to the guy I spoke to working the queue. But it's hard to estimate because it's hard to say when those seats turn over. If you got some people doing quick food and coming back and forth, and it's hard to tell. So let's talk about, I bet you want to hear, how do I get a reservation? How do I hear more about this amazing, amazing restaurant and then actually go and see it? Well, it's actually easier than you think. First off, thanks to Seth, I will say he gave me a few tips. Well, I learned this. Be in standby line 1 hour prior to opening. Now, if Epcot is opening early at 9 a.m., which it has of late with the 50th anniversary, and that's part of Future World, which is now a world of celebration, a world of, I forget, there's new worlds now. Future World is now a thing of the past. That's now for Disney Archive. Be at that standby line 1 hour prior. Now, if it's already a long line, then come back a later time or come back in a different day, because now you're going to be looking at 1 hour away plus a 2-hour line. You want to be there the first 10 people. That means after an hour you get pulled in. And I'll tell you our story in a second. Now, if Epcot has a traditional 11 o'clock opening, the restaurant opens at 11:30. So use early entry. Stay on site. Use early entry. The buses run early. If not, Uber over to the front entrance. It drops off where the buses are. Actually, convince your Uber driver to drop you off in the center. Get to the line. We were there about 10 or so. At 10:15, they let us in. Then you ran to your different queues. Most everyone runs to rides. They're going to rides forward, rides to the right, Soarin's open. And, some going to, you saw the pictures, and there's not many people in line. That was the whole line for the other side of the park where Mission Space and Test Track are. So you get over there, 10:30, they let you go, run right over, get first in line, take a quick hard left. You can't miss the sign of Mission Space, Space 220, and then get first in line. Then you'll wait an hour from there. We waited about an hour and 10 minutes before we actually sat, and maybe an hour and 20 from when we entered the park. It was worth every minute, and I didn't have to wait any extra time because we were the first 10 people. That's important. So if you can do standby, especially with the 11 a.m. Epcot opening, if it's a 9 a.m. opening, get to the park around the same time and walk over around 10 o'clock and see how the lines form. And you may have some crazies already lining up, but keep in mind, they do not open until firmly 11:30 is when they check in people. They don't plan on sitting people till 11:45. So, wah. That's how they're currently working it. So it's a wait, but it's worth the wait. But if you want to sit day of, if you're only day in Epcot, this is the time to do it. Now, to get a seating and a dining reservation, here we go. Sounds like Trader Sam's. Hopefully they'll change it, what they do, and where they text you when there's an opening. Yes, Nomad Lounge is moving out using the Tiffin's queue. Trader Sam's now does that. And yes, I believe, Leslie, they will move to a point because it's so popular. People were waiting. Waiting way out. They're running out of shade. They're running out of somewhere to hide. And I think they're aware of that. So I do appreciate the comment. Fantastic comment. Keep the comments coming. Keep the likes coming, guys. Big tip coming up, exclusive from Seth. I interviewed him on as you watch this. Finish to the end, but rewind and watch the whole thing. Great interview with a very sharp, polished GM from New York, New Jersey. They brought him down here just to run this restaurant, or young, sharp guy. Appreciate him bringing down some youth. Fantastic. So what about table service? Table service dining. How do I get a reservation? Obviously, 60 days out from your check-in date, you go on My Disney app and you check. And if you have a longer reservation, the better. Look for the later date in the reservation and work your magic. Good luck on 30 days out if you're not on site, because they're going to be gone. But this may free up as people experience this. People get aware of the price point. That's too much for me. Or people say, hey, I've heard enough about it. It may free up. But it's a big thing coming up. Watch your calendars. November 1st. If you have a reservation coming up the next 60 days. So that'll be upwards to January 1st. If you're going on time any of that time and want to do this, this is important. According to Seth, the guy that runs the place, big news. Drum roll, please. Space 220 is moving to full capacity November 1st. There's a reason. I didn't mention it for a reason. There's a reason you saw so many empty seats, and everyone I talked to was mentioning about, all the empty seats, all the empty seats. It's for a reason. It's not because of COVID. It's not due to lack of staff. It's a new restaurant. It's brand new. Give them a break. And Seth explained to me before that video so professionally, he wouldn't have said this in the video, by the way, that, hey, we're brand new. We need some time to break in. They plan on moving November 1st. So guess what? There's a whole slew of reservations for 60 days, November 1st to January 1st. That's how we're doing things now going forward, that are going to be available. Stay tuned for that. All you locals, the same day. And to find out why, to get alerts, subscribe to mousedining.com. I have an exclusive link that gets you a discount. I'll put that link in the chat of both these. I'm on Dave's Disney and my David W. Hartman Today on YouTube. I'll put that in all three feeds today so you can check that out. So that's the secrets, guys. Work the early entry for 11 a.m. opening. If you're there early for 9 a.m. opening, swing by there around 10:15 and see how lines are doing. And you want to be in line no matter what, 1 hour prior. That's easy to do a rope drop. But for the early entry hours of 9 a.m., the 9 a.m. normal opening, early entry 8:30, then you have to work your way up getting around that entrance. It's right up into space, right in the right-hand side of the building. You can't miss it. Those are my tips, guys. Hope you enjoyed them. Appreciate you joining today for our Space 220 restaurant review. Appreciate the comments, Leslie Wyman, all you guys out there watching. It's an amazing restaurant experience. I recommend it for both food and the experience. I will go back and do it again, even on my own. I will go back and bring people. I know now I can do it by standby anytime. I have my mouse dying alerts out there for future reservations I have, which are going to go hog wild, just like they did for Ogres when I was on the cruise in June when Ogres went to full capacity. You are going to see it soon. Stay tuned November 1st. This will be a lot easier to get into. This is a big restaurant. Thank you too, Janice. Thank you, guys. Tomorrow, big news. My Enjoy the Journey travel show is not about Disney. It's all about Star Wars and the Star Wars Hotel. Reservation opens, and I booked one of the first departures. I'm going to talk all about it. And I now know the experience you have to go through to book. That'll be 6 p.m. tomorrow night right here at Dave's Disney and my Fantastic Endeavors YouTube channel. Follow those two channels, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night for an exclusive Star Wars Hotel. Dun, 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 dun. Have a good night.